Hello everyone, welcome to biology class. Student, up till now we have studied about the first part of the chapter respiration and circulation. Today we will start the second part of this chapter, circulation. In this part of the chapter we will study about circulatory system or the transport system. Let us see what is the circulation. Transportation or the circulation, it is the exchange of the material between the environment and the various parts of our body and their cell. It takes place. During the transportation, oxygen and the nutrients from the surrounding they are taken, and the CO2 and the H2 which is generated during the cell metabolism, it is released into the environment. There are various types of transportation: diffusion, active transport, intracellular transport, and extracellular transport. In diffusion process, from the high concentration towards the low concentration material, it is transported. When the area available it is more, and if the surface area is thin, diffusion it is easy. In active transport, the energy it is utilized. So the transport it is called active transport. The next type of transportation is intracellular transport, which is seen in all types of cells, where the cell cytoplasm is moving in a definite cyclic path. Hence, this transport is also called cyclosis. Look at the figure. Here we can see how the cell organelles is transporting a material in a definite cyclic path. This transport it is completed inside the cell, hence it is termed as intracellular transport. When the transport it is seen between closely associated cells, then that type of the transport it is called intercellular transport, which is completed between the cells. Transport system of the higher animals includes blood vessels, and the heart. Blood and the lymph, these are the circulatory media present in higher animals. There are two types of vascular system: open vascular system and closed vascular system. Open vascular system, it is observed in the animals which are included in arthropoda and the mollusca. Last year in 11th standard, we have learned about cockroach. The cockroach, it shows open vascular system in which a different sinuses are present. The exchange of this blood, it is taking place through the sinuses. The blood, it is directly in contact with the cell and the tissue, and the exchange it is seen. The blood is having low blood pressure. Hence, the rate of metabolism in these animal it is low. The blood does not have respiratory pigment, and that's why their blood it is white in color. That all we have studied in 11th standard. In all vertebrates, in higher annelids, and in mollusks, closed vascular system it is seen. Student, look at the figure. In closed vascular system, the blood vessel, it forms the network of capillaries. The blood is flowing through the blood vessels and it does not come out. The blood is having high blood pressure and the respiratory pigment hemoglobin. It is useful to transport the different gases. The exchange of material, it is seen by intermediate fluid called the lymph, as blood, it is not in direct contact with the cell. In double circulation, the blood is passing through the heart twice. That's why the blood circulation, it is called double circulation. There are two cycles: pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. In pulmonary circulation, from the heart, blood it reaches to the lungs for the oxygenation, and from the lungs, oxygenated blood, it comes back to the heart. This cycle, it is called as pulmonary circulation. From the heart, oxygenated blood, it reaches to the body cells, and from the body cell, deoxygenated blood, again it is collected into the heart. This is the one cycle. It is the systemic circulation. It is observed in all birds and the mammals. There are two kinds of blood circulation: single blood circulation and double blood circulation. In single blood circulation, once the blood is passing through heart in each cycle. Hence, the circulation is termed as single circulation, which is observed in all fishes. The blood which is pumped from the heart is deoxygenated, which is moving towards the gills for the oxygenation. We know the gills are the respiratory organs in fishes, where the oxygenation of blood takes place. After the oxygenation of blood, the blood it is moving towards the cell. In the cell, this oxygen is utilized for the various metabolic activities. After the metabolism, the CO2 it is generated as a waste product. This waste product it is present in the blood. So that blood which is coming from the cell is always deoxygenated type, which is reaching towards the heart. So blood which is returned to the heart is always the deoxygenated one. And as the heart is having the deoxygenated blood, the heart is also termed as venous heart. The human circulatory system, it is composed of blood vascular system and lymphatic system. Blood vascular system, it consists of blood, blood vessel and heart. Blood, it is the fluid connective tissue. The study of blood, it is called hematology. In adult, it is about 4 to 6 liters present in the body. It is red in color and it is produced from embryonic mesoderm. It is alkaline in nature. The blood pH, it is 7.4. It is salty in taste and it is a viscous fluid. It has two components: plasma and blood cells. Plasma, it is about 55% and the blood cells, it is 44%. This can be separated by centrifugation. Plasma, it is about 55% of the blood. It is a straw colored or it is a yellowish liquid. It is a slightly alkaline and it is viscous. It consists of water, ions, proteins, nutrients, waste, and gases. The human blood contains three types of the blood cells: erythrocytes, leukocytes, and platelets. Student, look at the figure. Here we can see the different blood cells and its formation. The blood cells in which erythrocyte or the RBC, platelets, and the WBCs are seen. WBCs, it has the various forms: Eosinophil, Basophil, Neutrophil, lymphocytes, and the monocytes. These all the blood cells, they are produced from bone marrow cells. Bone marrow, it is the tissue present inside the long bones, where the stem cells are present. These stem cells, they are responsible in the formation of blood cells. There are two types of the stem cells which produce the blood cells. They are myeloid stem cell and the lymphoid stem cell. Myeloid stem cell, it produces RBC cells, platelets, and granulocytes of WBC, while lymphoid stem cell, it produces the lymphocytes, which is a type of WBC. Red blood cells, they are also called red blood corpuscles. These are the living cells and they are present in the liquid or they are suspended in the liquid. That's why they are termed as corpuscles. They are abundant in number. They are circular and biconvex. Its lifespan, it is about 100 to 120 days. Its number in male is about 5.1 to 5.8 million per millimeter square, while in the female it is 4.1 to 5.2 million per millimeter square. This number indicates that physically male are the stronger than the female. The formation of RBC, it is completed in the bone marrow in adult, while in fetus the RBCs, they are produced in organ, liver and the spleen by process called as erythropoiesis. It is the process, it is completed in presence of the hormone erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, it is a hormone, it is coming from the kidney, which complete the process of erythropoiesis. When in the blood the RBC number it is increased than its normal value, the condition it is called as polycythemia. Or if the RBC number is reduced than the normal number, the condition it is called as erythrocytopenia. These are the two abnormalities which is related with the RBC cell number. Hematocrit, it is the ratio of volume of RBC to total blood volume. This ratio, it is the hematocrit. In initial stage, RBC is having all cell organelles. But when the RBC get mature, all the cell organelles they degenerate. Nucleus is also absent, and it creates a space for hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, it is a respiratory pigment which help in transport of gases. RBC also have an enzyme called carbonic anhydrase which help in the CO2 transport and to maintain the pH and the viscosity of the blood. RBC play very important role in the transport of gases. RBC is having a respiratory pigment hemoglobin. Its amount is about, in case of male, 14 to 17 grams per 100 ml, while in the female hemoglobin it is about 13 to 15 gram per 100 ml of blood. In each RBC, 270 millions of hemoglobin molecules are present. Each hemoglobin, it carry 4 molecule of oxygen. So, its role is important in carrying the oxygen. When RBC they becomes dead or during the abnormal condition when the RBC it is broken down, the heme it is released which is stored in the liver cell, while the rest part of the hemoglobin, that is a porphyrin group, it is converted into pigment biliverdin, which is a green in color, which is changed into yellow color or the orange color pigment called as a bilirubin, which is then get added into the a bile, which is a secretion of the liver, and then it is given out from the body along with the feces or the digestive waste. Look at the figure. Now we'll study about the white blood cells. White blood cells, they are the colorless cells. That's why they are also called as leukocytes. Leuco means white. They are irregular in shape or they are amoeboid in shape. Like amoeba, they don't have any particular shape. These cells are nucleated. So in the figure, we can see the purple color bodies. These all are different types of WBCs. As they are present in the different form, they are called as a polymorphic cells. White blood cells, they are classified basically into two groups, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes, these are the cells in their cytoplasm, granules are present. Granules means actually in the cytoplasm small vesicles are present. These are the small pockets like structure which carry the material. Agranulocytes, these are the cells in their cytoplasm. These small granules or the vesicles, they are absent. Cytoplasm is clear. That's why the cells they are grouped as agranulocytes. Granulocytes further it divides into three types of the cells: neutrophil, eosinophil, and the basophil. This classification it is on the basis of the shape of the nucleus and its staining characteristics of the cell. While the agranulocytes further it is classified as lymphocyte and the monocyte. depends upon the shape of the nucleus. Granulocyte, it is about 72% of total count of WBC. That indicates the maximum number of WBC that are present in the granular form. In their cell cytoplasm, granules are present. They have the different characteristics. On the basis of that, granulocytes, it is classified as neutrophil, basophil, and the eosinophil. First, we'll see about the neutrophil. Here, name itself indicates neutro means the neutral. These cells, they stain with the neutral stain. And that's why they are termed as a neutrophil. Not only that, this cell can be identified on the basis of the shape of the nucleus also. The nucleus of neutrophil is a twisted and it has many lobed structure. On the basis of that, we can identify the neutrophil from other types of WBC. They are phagocytic in nature. They engulf the foreign bodies which is entered in our body and digest them and neutralize them. That is the phagocytosis. After phagocytosis, the dead organism, dead tissue, and the dead neutrophil together, it forms the pus. Basophil, it is another type of granulocyte. It is about 0.5 to 1% of total WBCs. Its number, it is increased during the allergic condition. They have few granules in their cell cytoplasm, but the size of the granule, it is large. They stain with basic stain, that's why they are termed as basophil. They have twisted nucleus. So on the basis of that also, the cell can be identified. The cell, it gives the three types of the secretion: heparin, histamine, and serotonin. Heparin, it is the anticoagulant substance which is added from this cell into the blood. And that's why blood, it remains in fluid state. Histamine, it is the allergic substance. It is produced and it gives allergic actions on the body, like red patches, swelling of the organ, swelling of the body, or the dilation of blood vessel. Serotonin, it is the secretion. It balances the secretion of histamine and the heparin. Third type of granulocyte, it is the eosinophil. It is also called as acidophil because it takes the acidic stain. It is about 1 to 3% of total WBC count. It can be identified on the basis of the shape of the nucleus. The nucleus of the eosinophil, it is a bilobed. These cells are phagocytic. They secrete a secretion called antihistamine. The role of antihistamine, it is exactly opposite to histamine. Histamine, which is produced by basophil, it gives the allergic reaction, while antihistamine, it is the secretion, it neutralizes the allergic condition. It produces the antitoxins and it detoxifies the foreign bodies. And that's why the allergic condition, it is neutralized. Second major group of WBC, it is agranulocytes. They are about 28% of total WBC count. In their cell cytoplasm, granules are completely absent. There are of two types, monocyte and lymphocytes. Monocytes are one of the type of a granulocyte. It is the largest cell of WBC. There are about 3 to 5% of total count of WBC. They have bean-shaped nucleus. They produces macrophages. Macrophage cells are phagocytic in nature. They engulf the bacteria and the dead tissue and digest them. That's why macrophages, they are called as scavenger cells. Student, look at the figure to understand what is the lymphocyte and what are the types of lymphocytes and how they are produced. These are the smallest WBCs. They're about 25 to 30% of total count of WBC. Lymphocytes, they are produced by bone marrow cells. Bone marrow cell, they have the stem cells. Stem cell, it produces two types of the lymphocytes, B lymphocyte and the T lymphocytes. Now what is the B? B stand for bone marrow. The lymphocytes which is produced and mature at the bone marrow site, those lymphocytes are called B lymphocyte. While some B lymphocyte, they move towards the thymus gland for the maturation. In the thymus gland, they mature and the lymphocyte which is produced, it is called as T lymphocyte. Here T stand for thymus gland. The maturation of lymphocyte, it is at thymus gland and that's why it is termed as T cells. Both the types of the cell, that is the B lymphocyte and the T lymphocyte, they produce antibodies. The T lymphocyte, further it gives four types of the cells as helper T cell, killer T cell, memory T cell and suppressor T cell, while B lymphocyte does not have any type. Lymphocytes, they produce antibodies. Antibodies, they act like a soldier. They attack on foreign material, which is termed as antigen. Antigen may be virus or the bacteria. Antibodies attack on this antigen and neutralize them and protect our body from the pathogenic attack or from the disease. B lymphocyte get activated by the helper T cell and it produces antibodies as a soldier cells. They attacked on the antigen and it neutralized them. The third type of blood cell, it is thrombocytes or the platelets. They're also produced from bone marrow cell. Bone marrow cell, it gives the stem cells which further it gives megakaryocyte cells. The megakaryocyte cell, they break into the oval pieces called platelets. Their number is about 2.5 to 3.5 lakh per millimeter square of the blood. Thrombocyte number in abnormal condition it decreases and it produces a condition called as thrombocytopenia. This condition may appear when there is a loss of blood or hemorrhage, that is internal bleeding. Platelets it secrete serotonin, which is act as vasodilator, which is responsible to increase the diameter of blood vessel. Hence, they are called as a vasodilators. Platelets also secrete clotting factors, which is useful for the clotting process or the coagulation process. Today, we have studied about blood constituent, plasma, and blood cells. This can be summarized with the help of this flow chart. Let us see what is the coagulation process, which is completed by thrombocytes or the platelets. The blood coagulation process it is seen in two conditions, intrinsic condition and extrinsic condition. What is this intrinsic condition? It is the condition when the blood it is present out of the body. Means when we are collecting the blood inside the bottle, or if we have taken the blood for the examination purpose on the glass slide, the condition we call as intrinsic condition. The blood which is present out of the body, after the few minutes it get coagulated. In extrinsic condition also blood get coagulated. When we come across an accident or while cutting the vegetable or the fruits or while shaving, we get cuts. Through the cut, blood flow start. After the few minutes, the blood flow it stop. The ruptured blood vessel it forms the clot or it forms a plug. Because of formation of the plug, the further loss of blood it is prevented. The clotting process it is initiated by intrinsic process or the extrinsic process. During this time, the platelets they get activated to release the clotting factors. Totally 13 clotting factors it is released from platelets. Out of that, the seventh clotting factor it is inactive. The rest all are in active stage and they interact in stepwise. This interaction it is called as cascade. The cascade it is responsible for the conversion of prothrombin into thrombin. The cascade is activate thromboplastin and the thromboplastin it help in the formation of thrombin. Prothrombin it is converted into thrombin in presence of calcium ions and thromboplastin. Thrombin it is active form which help in the conversion of fibrinogen into fibrin. Fibrinogen it is the soluble plasma protein, while the fibrin it is the insoluble plasma protein. Fibrin it is present in the form of fibers. It is a fibrous protein which form a network at the region of ruptured blood vessel. In this network, further the red blood cells, white blood cells and the platelets they get trapped and the formation of the clot it is complete. Thank you for watching this video and stay tuned for further updates. Thank you.